What's up, movie buffs? Dad and Daughter Movie Reviews. Today we are reviewing In a Violent Nature.
So this is a movie we've been wanting to watch for a while. We'd seen the ads, we'd seen the critic reviews, we've seen reviews from other people who had seen it, and so we finally sat down and watched it. Online, I'm seeing a lot of mixed reviews on this. I'm seeing most people, they either like it or hate it. There's not really that many people in between. That's typically how horror movies work. You're not typically like, you're like, I liked it or I didn't like it. And so this movie, I think, fits a lot of that criteria for most people. Um, I'm gonna let you go first. What do you think about In a Violent Nature? The movie, the character itself, the way it was shot, the kills, like whatever you want to talk about, what you liked, didn't like, didn't understand, whatever.
Okay, I like how it was filmed in the killer's perspective. Like most of it was. Like that was really cool. I was like, I don't think I've seen a horror movie do that before. I think the only movie that was like remotely close to that was The Taking of Deborah Logan. And it wasn't even like in her perspective. So I guess that was really cool.
More like a found footage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I was really confused on what was happening. Like we just saw him walking around, and then all of a sudden there's people there, and then we're like, oh, what are you doing here? And then it felt a lot like the remake of Friday the 13th at times too. Like, because there was like the nerd who went off by himself in the forest,
Right.
and then he got killed. Um, I guess the kills were a lot more like
Not violent.
violent. I guess there's, spoiler alert, there's one where he's got like this huge fish hook, and he just
The
and just
the yoga, the yoga kill.
yeah. I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna be able to watch this, and I was like, oh, like it was very gory.
Yes. So this movie, it's kind of shot found footage. A lot of the movie is from the killer's perspective of, like, you just like see him from the back, just kind of walking through the woods, through the forest, whatever you want to say, to these locations where there's somebody there. So it's kind of from his perspective, kind of like found footage type thing, I guess. But I thought it was really cool. I also really like that as well. So I guess what it's about is like some guy who was, killed and buried, and then somebody comes and grabs this necklace, and that kind of like being removed from his burial spot is like kind of what awakens him to come back and start killing. And then his whole objective throughout the movie is to find whoever took this locket or whatever, and then get it back. So he does have a little bit of like the Jason Voorhees kind of look vibe to him. He's a zombie. At one point, they do show his face. Spoiler alert: he finds like this little kid's car on this like key ring, and he starts playing with it, sitting by a tree or whatever. And then they finally show his face, but most of the movie is just like the back of his head and his back. And then he breaks into this um, like this forest ranger station, and then takes this old like firefighter's mask that's like cloth with these like big eyes on it, and then takes a firefighting axe and these hooks on a chain, and that's kind of what he uses through most of the movie to kind of kill his victims and whatnot. So I thought that was kind of cool, something different and unique. It wasn't like necessarily a sackhead or him finding whatever. It was something unique to the area, something that he probably knew from his previous life or had seen or whatever. So he had that experience with these things. But it was really cool. It's kind of a slow burn. It's not necessarily like wow in your face. It's more of like slow paced and kind of builds a little bit. So I can see why some people might say it was a little bit slow, or some people might have issues with it as far as um, maybe a little bit of confusion or whatever. But I thought it was really cool. Yes, the kills were very violent. the yoga scene. I'm trying to remember. He like puts the hook right in the girl's face, and then like punches through her stomach, right, and then takes the chain, and then basically pulls her head forward like this, and through the hole in her own stomach, and it basically folds her into
Pretzel.
a pretzel, which is, I think, the most brutal, violent kill I've ever seen in a horror movie. I mean, we were both just like,
What just happened?
holy, like it's crazy. I mean, it is very cool, but you know, it might not be everybody's taste. Like I said, it's really a slow burn kind of slasher type thing, but I really like, you know, kind of how it's filmed, you know, the surroundings, the scenery, the imagery that they use. Like I said, I'm a real big fan of the mask and the kind of unique tools that he uses. Are not something that most slashers or horror movie villains use. So, you know, I liked it. Is it my favorite horror movie ever? No. Is it the worst horror movie I've ever seen? No, not by a long shot. So, you know, I liked it. Some people do, some people don't.
Yeah. I guess I liked the mask that he wore. I had mixed feelings about it at times, but I think it was in my good horror movies. But it was like, it was slow and not like in your face, right? And
Everything really moving at a fast pace, yeah.
yeah, like kill. 5 minutes later, kill. 2 minutes later, kill. Ooh, double kill. Like, it's like, no, he was just walking around. He's like, you were in the house. You were in the house. You were in the house. You have my necklace. You're her boyfriend. Like, he's going over and killing everybody. See who has the locket. And in the beginning of the movie, he goes into someone's house and he sees a necklace.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that might be it. Oh, that's not it. No. But I think at least when I was watching it, at the ending, when she was riding through the car, she was like bandaging up her leg, and I was like, he's gonna jump out of the woods. He's gonna jump out of the woods. And then it went back to the gas can that she had put the necklace on, and the necklace was there. So really, all he wanted was that necklace.
Right, and I think that's also something, that's a good point to bring up that I thought was really cool, is that whole ending scene of riding in the truck with that lady. Like, you just think something's gonna happen because they're filming it through the window, and you see all this, you know, everything going by in the background, and you're just like, is he gonna throw an axe and it's gonna hit her through the thing? You know, when they stop the truck, is he gonna come kill that lady and then drag her out of the car? Like, you're anticipating something happen, and then it's nothing. So you're like, whoa. I mean, it's kind of like a surprise or a shock in the sense of nothing happening when you think something's going to happen, as opposed to most horror movies doing something like that, and you're like, oh, maybe something might happen, but maybe not, and then it does, and you're just like, oh my, you know what I mean? It was a surprise, you know, in the reverse way. So I thought that was kind of a cool touch as well.
Yeah.
So that's going to be it from us. We like this movie. We think it's cool. You should check it out. Right now it's streaming on, I believe, Shudder, Prime Video. You can rent it on there. But you know, whatever it is, $5-6, definitely, you know, worth the money to check this out, as we both thought it was a really cool movie. So that's it from us. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the little bell notification so you know when we post new content. Give the video a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the section below what you thought about this movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Come back. Let us know what you think. Until the next one, we are out.
I was wondering when you were finally gonna show. You sure took your time, though.